Are you someone who keeps getting advice from every corner and that only ends up confusing you? In this video, I'm going to tell you how to filter advice so that you know which advice is good for you and which one is not. Hello Lila's fam, welcome to Let Your Light So Shine. My name is Monica and I'm so glad to have you here. Today I'll be talking about how to filter advice. Do you find it difficult to decipher what advice is good for you and which is terrible for you? The Bible says so much about advice, good and bad. But sometimes when you get advice from different corners, it can be difficult to decipher or to decide which one to take and which one to discard. This video is going to help you know which advice to take, which to discard, and which to probably consider for later. Because advice can come from any corner, advice can come from any source. But it's up to you to make the decision of which advice to take and which one to throw out. This video is going to help you make the right decisions on which advice to take and which ones to discard. My passage for today is 1 Kings 12 verses 1 to 16. Get your Bibles and let's look at this passage together. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had gone to Shechem to make him king. So it happened, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat heard it, he was still in Egypt, for he had fled from the presence of King Solomon and had been dwelling in Egypt, that they sent and called him. Then Jeroboam and the whole assembly of Israel came and spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Your father made our yoke heavy. Now therefore, lighten the burdensome service of your father, and his heavy yoke which he put on us, and we will serve you. So he said to them, Depart for 3 days, then come back to me. And the people departed. Then King Rehoboam consulted the elders who stood before his father Solomon while he still lived. And he said, How do you advise me to answer these people? And they spoke to him, saying, If you will be a servant to these people today, and serve them and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be your servants forever. But he rejected the advice which the elders had given him, and consulted the young men who had grown up with him, who stood before him. And he said to them, What advice do you give? How should we answer these people who have spoken to me, saying, Lighten the yoke which your father put on us? Then the young men who had grown up with him spoke to him, saying, Thus you shall speak to these people who have spoken to you, saying, Your father made our yoke heavy, but you make it lighter on us. Thus you shall say to them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's waist. And now, whereas my father put a heavy yoke on you, I will add to your yoke. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scourges. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the 3rd day, as the king had directed, saying, Come back to me the 3rd day. Then the king answered the people roughly, and rejected the advice which the elders had given him. And he spoke to them according to the advice of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, but I will add to your yoke. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scourges. So the king did not listen to the people, for the turn of events was from the Lord, that he might fulfill his word, which the Lord had spoken to Ahijah the Shilonite, to Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Now when all Israel saw that the king did not listen to them, the people answered the king, saying, What share have we in David? We have no inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Now see to your own house, O David. So Israel departed to their tents. To your tents, O Israel. What share do we have in David? That is what the people said. Now, if you followed this story as I read it, or you've read it before, or you were reading it alongside, you would hear when we got two kinds of advice. One from the elders, the more experienced elders, who had been with King Solomon, and then another piece of advice from the young men who were with Rehoboam. Rehoboam was the son of King Solomon and had taken over as king of Israel. Now the people came to ask Rehoboam to lighten their load, to reduce the task, the workload that was on them. Remember that King Solomon kept building so many things in his lifetime. He built the temple, he built his house, he kept building all kinds of things. So it was like constant work for the Israelites. And then now that King Solomon had gone the way of his forefathers, they came to the king and said, Rehoboam, King Rehoboam, lighten the load. And Rehoboam had to go and seek advice. He went to the elders and they said, if you serve these people, they will serve you. If you treat them well, if you love them, if you show them respect, they will reciprocate and they will make you their king in thoughts and action. It will not just be a king that is forced on them, or a king that just because he has the royal lineage or the royal blood is made king. You will be truly king in their eyes. That was what the elders said to Rehoboam. And Rehoboam rejected the advice. He rejected it outrightly. He was like, nah, this will not work. I don't want this. And then he went and asked his peers, his age mates, his fellow youths, and those ones said, tell them that even though your father dealt with them with whips, you will use scourges. Tell them that you will multiply their pain, their sorrow, their work, their difficulties. Go and tell them that. And Rehoboam told the people that when they came back to him. And how did the people respond? They felt like they had no king. Because that was what they meant when they said, to your tent, O Israel. It means everybody go and look out for yourself. Everybody go and take care of yourself and your family. Everybody stop thinking you have a king. We don't have a king. This man does not care about us. This man does not love us. This man does not want to lead us. This man is trying to make us subservient. We are no longer freeborns here. We are not equal. Even though he is the king, we are all supposed to be freeborns, having come out of Egypt. That was how the people felt. That was how they behaved. And then they said, to your tents, O Israel. But they also said something. They said, what share do we have in David? Meaning that, okay, we are not royalty. We are not of the lineage of David. And they said something else. They said, household of David, take care of yourself. Household of David, take care of yourself. It's just like where you have a king, but you don't have followers. You don't have people who are with him. You don't have citizens. You just have a king. So the king is ruling himself. That's what it means. These people said, okay, if that be the case, we will not watch out for David. If anything comes to this family, the household of David, if anything comes to the lineage of David, we will not protect them. We don't see you as our king. Since you don't care about us, we will not care about you. We will not watch out for you. We will not call you king. We will not revere you. And if somebody attacks you, we will not defend you. That was what they said. And so what you now had was a king without followers, a king without the masses, a king without protection, a king without his people. That was what you had. Now, this may not be your situation. You may not be a king, but you could be a leader in your own way. You could be a leader in your own sphere of influence. You could be a leader in your own world, in your own industry, in your own organization. You could be a parent in your own home. Have your children now felt that they don't have the covering? They don't have the protection that comes with having you as their leader, as their father, as their mother, as their protector, as their defender. Because when you are a leader and you're not defending the people, you don't speak on their behalf, you actually disparage them and you tell them that you will make their conditions worse. You tell them that your coming is for your own betterment but not theirs. You tell them that they are all alone. Don't be surprised when they go and start protecting themselves. Don't be surprised when they put themselves first. Don't be surprised when they prioritize their safety, their meals, their food, their everything, and they discard you. In fact, they act like you don't exist. They act like you're not there for them, because indeed you're not there for them. If you tell them as roughly as Rehoboam did, you're on your own. They will say, oh really? I'm on my own? Well, I better take care of myself. I better protect him. I better watch out for myself. Because this king doesn't care. This leader doesn't care. This dad does not care. This mom does not care. I'm on my own. And then you see that it becomes a case of survival of the fittest. You find out that people no longer care about the communal good. They don't care about every other person. They are watching out for themselves. They are protecting themselves. They are putting themselves first. It becomes a kind of selfish setting. And who caused it? It's you, the leader. Because you told them that they were on their own. Because you told them that having been elected into position, you're here to look out for yourself. You told them that you don't care about their welfare. You told them that they were on their own. And so they had to take care of themselves. And so they had to put themselves first. And so they had to prioritize themselves. Leadership is important. And I've talked about leadership on this channel over and over and over again. We all need good leadership. We need good leaders in the world. I'm going to put the link of the videos that I have done on leadership and how to be a good leader. I will put the links of those videos in the description of this video so that you can go and watch those videos. Watch those videos and learn how to be a leader. Learn how to be a leader who has the heart of his followers. Learn how to be a parent who has the heart of his or her children. Learn how to lead. Lead with love. Lead by good example. Lead with the fear of God. Lead by putting others first. And just like the elder said to Rehoboam, if you serve them, they will serve you. They will serve you for life. They will serve you all your days. You will be their king. And they will revere you. They will honor you like a king should be honored. I'll put the links to those videos in the description of this video so you can go and check them out. Now, don't forget my promise because I'm about to get to it. I said I was going to teach you how to filter advice. Now, I'm going to give you several tips. Stay with me. Don't go away because I'm going to be listing them one after the other. The first thing you need to know about filtering advice is that before you ask anyone for advice, you should be prepared to accept the good one. Open up your heart. Don't have a closed mindset. Don't have a heart that says, it doesn't matter what they say, I know what I want to do. Because if you see what Rehoboam did, Rehoboam rejected what the elders told him. It means that he was not even receptive to that. He was not even open. He didn't even want it. Instead, he went to his friends who told him what he wanted to hear. They re-echoed his sentiments and he went with it. So if you know that you want advice, you have to have an open heart. You have to have an open mind. You have to open your ears and filter out what is important. The elder said something important to Rehoboam. If you treat these people well, they will treat you well. You see love, you see respect, you see honor, it is reciprocal. Don't think because you are a king or because you are a leader, it's automatic that they must honor you. No. Many people will fear you because you're the leader, but they may not like you. They may not respect you. They may not want to be around you, and they may not defend you. So if you really want to win their hearts, you have to not just ask for advice, but when they give you advice that is good, advice that is right, the correct thing. Take it, implement it. Be willing to accept the good advice and implement it. Don't have a closed, shut off mindset. It's not okay. It's not good, because what is the essence of asking for advice if you will not use it, especially when it is good advice? What is the essence of asking people to tell you this, tell you that? What should you do, what should you not do? What's the essence if you will not use it? If you're going to ask for advice, you should be prepared to take the good advice and implement it. The second way to filter advice is to stop looking for people to re-echo your thoughts. Rehoboam wanted to hear something in particular. Rehoboam wanted to be told that, see, this thing they are saying, it's time for you to show them that you're king. That was what Rehoboam wanted to hear. And so when the elders gave him advice that did not conform with what he had in mind, he went to the people who thought like him. He went to his mates, he went to his peers, and he said, so tell me, what do we tell these people? He said, what do we tell these people? Meaning that he was willing to go with whatever they were going to say. And so when they told him, tell them you're coming with scourges. Tell them that even though your daddy used whips, you will use scourges. Tell them that you will deal with them. Tell them you will be merciless. When he heard that, he felt good. His ego was boosted. And he went and he spoke to the people harshly. He spoke to them harshly. It's just like where you've not even tested the waters. You don't know what it's like to be king. With your inexperience, you go and ask fellow inexperienced people to tell you what to do, because you want to hear yourself. Those people were speaking his language and he was swallowing it up like, yes, yes. They were validating his thoughts, his sentiments. And he was happy about it. That was why he went with what they said. If you know you want to hear yourself speak, go to a room that echoes. If you know that instead of taking advice, you just want to have something re-echoed, have your thoughts re-echoed, then don't ask for advice. Just go to where there is no furniture and speak there. Probably in a staircase. Go there. Talk. And the echo will come back and you hear yourself talk. There's no need. Why are you asking people for advice? If you want people to express your thoughts, why don't you record it on your phone, play it back to yourself? There's no need asking for advice. And so if you want to be honest, if you really need the advice, stop looking for people who will re-echo your sentiments. Stop looking for yes men. Stop looking for sycophants. Stop looking for people who will not tell you the truth. Because those people will only ruin you. As they are re-echoing what you want to hear, you're not getting fresh information. You're not getting good advice. You're still in your warped way of seeing things. And you will believe that that is the best thing to do because you are hearing your thoughts coming back to you. They are being echoed. So once you want to take advice, stop taking echoes. Stop taking echoes of your thoughts. If you really want to hear genuine advice, if you want to get the truth, go to those who will tell you the truth, not those that will echo your thoughts back to you. The third way to filter advice is to stop being sentimental. Stop being biased. Don't tell yourself, yes, I know this is good advice, but then again, I would rather, because the way I feel, because the way I think about that person, because the way I see that person, because the way I feel about that person. No. Let the advice be unbiased. Let your feelings towards the advice be unbiased. Let your feelings towards that advice that has been given be unsentimental. The truth is the truth. I hope you know that. The truth is the truth. It is what it is. It's unchangeable. It is fixed. Now keep your bias aside. Keep your emotions aside. Keep your sentiments aside. Look at the truth for what it is. When it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, irrespective of how you feel about it. So keep your bias, keep your sentiments aside, and focus on the truth. Follow the truth. Let the truth be your guiding light. If that thing is the right thing to do, if it is the honest thing to do, irrespective of whether you're doing it for somebody you don't like, Because sometimes you say, but I don't like this person. But this person is against me. But this person is not nice to me. But this person is... Is it the truth? Is it the right thing to do? Is it the correct thing to do? Then keep your feelings aside. Keep the bias aside. Keep the sentiment aside. Face the truth. Follow the truth. Take the right advice. That's what you should do. Keep your emotions aside. Keep sentiments aside. Keep, I don't like this person is not this person, all that. Pack it up. Keep it over there. Be unbiased. Take the unbiased, honest truth every single time, because that will guide you to ensure that you don't deprive someone of what they are supposed to get. It will help you ensure that you don't deprive people of what they are entitled to. Always do that, because the Bible says that you should always give people what their due is. And I'm going to add, irrespective of how you feel about them. So keep your sentiments aside, keep the bias aside, and let the truth be the truth. If that advice is unsentimental, unbiased, is the truth, go with it. That's one way to filter advice. The fourth tip I will give you on how to filter advice is, like I said earlier, be careful about taking advice from your peers. If your peers are just as inexperienced as you are, they may not be the best people to take advice from, because their experiences are as shallow, as few, or non-existent like yours. So if you want people who have experience, you want people who can tell you how things are, you want to see a fresh perspective. You want a fresh perspective on things. Look for people who are more experienced, probably older. Ask older people, but also be careful so that it's not just because this person is older, the person knows stuff. No. Make sure that they are living their life right. It's not about saying this person is older, so automatically this person is smart, or automatically this person means well. No. Ensure that the person is not just older, but means well, has experience in that area, is living life right. Ensure that they have their life together, because it's not about being older. If this person has his or her life together, has experience, then you can actually take advice from them. But also filter it, because sometimes generational gaps can cause some kind of difference. But then, like I said before, the truth is the truth. It's the truth is the truth. Irrespective of the generation, the truth is the truth. There is nothing hidden under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. So just know that this thing you're going through is not something that just got invented. It's not. There has to be something about it that has been there from time immemorial. So just ask older people. They could help you. I think they will be a better guide for you than asking your peers who don't have experience, who have not been there and done that. The final tip I'll give you on how to filter advice. This is something that should cover every advice, irrespective of who gives it or what the subject matter is. The last tip is, ask yourself how you would feel if you are the receiving end of this advice. If someone does this to you, if someone implements it to you, if someone gives somebody else this kind of advice to do something for you or against you, how would you feel? If you are the receiving end, if you are the recipient, if you're going to be the person who will experience whatever this advice is, how would you feel? Always ask yourself that. It's the golden rule. Do unto others what you want them to do unto you. Always put yourself in the shoes of the receiver. Ask yourself, if I do this, will I feel good? If someone does this to me, will I be happy? If Rehoboam has simply asked himself, if someone tells me that they will worsen my situation, if I come to someone for help and they tell me to not just go away, but to actually know that worse times are coming, how would I feel? If Rehoboam had done that, he would never have taken the advice of his peers. He would never have taken the advice of the young men. He would have put himself in the shoes of those people, and he would have known that no good feeling, no good emotion would have been aroused when you tell people, I will worsen your situation, I will use scourges on you, I will deal harshly with you. Nothing good could have come out of that. If only Rehoboam had put himself in their shoes, he would never have said what he said. So this last tip is the golden filter. That is the one way to sieve out what kind of advice you are receiving. That's the one way to filter everything. Ask yourself, how would I feel if I'm at the receiving end of this advice? Ask yourself, if I'm standing in these shoes, if I'm wearing these shoes, if I'm at the receiving end, will I be happy? How would I feel if this thing is implemented on me and I'm the recipient? Always ask yourself that. That is the golden filter for every advice that you get. Alright, I hope that this video has blessed you, and I hope that it has taught you to do better, to treat people with love, to put yourself in their shoes, and to ask yourself, how would I feel if someone tells me this? How would I feel if someone does this to me? If you enjoyed watching this video, please drop a comment below. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video and you would like to see more of such videos, please subscribe to this channel. Simply click the subscribe button and get subscribed to this channel today. It is completely free of charge. You don't have to pay anything to subscribe to this channel, so please click the subscribe button and get subscribed today. Also, do not forget to click the notification button so you'll be notified as soon as I update. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. Also, do not forget to share this video with everyone. We all get all kinds of advice from different sources, but it's important that we know which advice is good and which one is bad. Please share this video with everyone so that we can filter our advice and choose only the best ones. Thank you very much for watching this video to the very end. Thank you for spending time with me. Let's keep doing this here on Let Your Light So Shine. Wherever you are, whatever you do, let your light so shine. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Please subscribe, click the notification button, like this channel, share our videos, and follow us on social media. Thank you very much.